6 o'clock, we'll get started. They reminded me, I always try to start on time. We'll call the meeting to order, and Miss Willie's gonna do the pledge, and Miss Pam's gonna do the prayer. So if everybody rise, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Let's pray. Father God, we just thank you so much for the opportunity to be here tonight, and we thank you for the fact that we are going to be able to have a proclamation for the education that our children are receiving here in Mount Pleasant. And we're so proud of our school and all of those teachers and assistants and coaches and the people that spend every day with the children in this town. God, I just thank you for them. I pray that this will be a wonderful night. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, ladies. Roll call, please, ma'am.
Mr. Davis.
Here.
Mayor White.
Here.
Miss Willie. Oh, Miss Alderson. Sorry.
Here.
Miss Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Knowles called today and said that she work conflict, so she can't be here tonight.
Okay. All righty. Approval and correction of minutes from prior meetings. We've got two sets, a study session from October the 16th and regular session of October the 21st. Once you've had a chance to review those, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion and we accept the study session meetings minutes for October 16th and for October 21st.
Got a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Got a second? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Awards, presentations, and appointments. All right, Eric, you want to bring your crew up? And you're honored to do this for you guys. Y'all are gonna join me.
Yes. Look,
Lori's at the red light. She said she's on the way.
Okay.
That's why we don't.
Of course. Okay, good looking green, you got couple hands.
No, this is your.
It is an honor to do this tonight. Trying to remember who made the comments at our last Alliance meeting last week. That, there were 5 schools in the county that were grade 5 level. I went, well, Mount Pleasant been there for 4 years. Yeah. So, didn't bring that up, but I sure wanted to. So we're very honored to do this. Whereas the city of Mount Pleasant and all its citizens are rightfully proud of the young residents, and whereas citizens recognize Mount Pleasant High School as an integral part of this community, and whereas Mount Pleasant High School earned a TVAAS Level 5 for academic growth for the 24-25 school year. This marks the 4th consecutive year Mount Pleasant High has earned this distinction. Mount Pleasant High School is the only school in Murray County to achieve this feat for 4 consecutive years. That's big. Tennessee Value-Added Assessment System evaluates how much students have grown in their performance relative to their peers across the state. Level 5 indicates significant evidence students made more growth than expected. Whereas Mount Pleasant High School has represented the city of Mount Pleasant, Murray County, state of Tennessee, the highest of standards. Now, therefore, I, Bill White, Mayor of the city of Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, do hereby proclaim the date November 18, 2025, Mount Pleasant High School. In honor of them, and do call upon all the citizens and residents of Mount Pleasant to join with us in duly recognizing the students, parents, faculty, and staff for this outstanding accomplishment in achieving a level 5 academic growth for 4 years. Thank you. Thanks to all of y'all. That's huge. That's huge. And you got to put up with Philip too.
Eric, let me ask you one question.
Yes, sir.
Now, how long have you been principal since?
I've been in Mount Pleasant
What's
Schools
your
principal, 4 years?
Let's see.
Yeah. You know, I will say this, I always talk to my faculty and staff and I say this, well, first of all, it's all about the kids. And we have one of our fine young men here tonight. We always say the expectations, where we set that bar, our kids will rise up to. And we try each and every day to set that bar at a very high level. Now, sometimes we have to drag them kicking and screaming, but our kids will rise up to that level. And I've got some members of my staff. Without them, we would not be able to accomplish this. It's a joy each and every day to go to Mount Pleasant High School. I will also tell you that on Friday, there's some other special news coming out. And it's going to be an additional great job that our students have been able to accomplish. And we can't wait to share it with the city also, with residents. This shows you've got a great group of young men and women as students, and we have the best faculty and staff in Maury County. I started this fight, the White House has the best school board member. Thanks. Come tonight to support the students.
Yeah, I kept trying to get her to come up there, and she just.
Come on.
Eric, I'd like to say one other thing, pass along, our football.
Yes.
Yeah.
Done a great
They did.
accomplishment this year. Might come up a little short,
Oh,
but
man.
we're proud of them. How far they
And that Brand Morrison too.
Yeah, that's all right. Big step.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll get it.
No comment.
I'm saying.
Thank y'all. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lisa, for supporting us.
Thank you, Mr. Pam. Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bill. Thank you. Appreciate it.
She said you could come dinner. I don't think God has a mic. It got them. Gordon.
No, we saw you walk
Not gonna
in.
dock her.
I was at the red light at 6 o'clock.
All righty. That's a great thing.
It is.
All right, completion and review of unfinished business from prior meeting. Ordinance 2025-1136. It's a public hearing and the final reading. An ordinance amending the municipal code of the city of Mount Pleasant as set forth in Title 12, Chapter 1 regarding an update to current codes. Corey, Phillip, whoever.
The purpose of this ordinance is to adopt the International Building Codes of 2024, and it's several different codes. We went over them all last time. It's the International Fuel Gas Code, International Mechanical Code, International Plumbing Code, International Property Maintenance Code, International Swimming Pool and Spa Code, International Energy Conservation Code, and International Residential Code. It also makes a couple modifications to each of those. There is one change from first reading, and that's we added the International Existing Building Code of 2024 as part of this update as well. So we had referenced it in the modification section, but not in where we were actually adopting the 2024 version.
Okay. Phillip, anything you need to add?
Nope.
Any questions of Corey?
Mm-mm.
Hearing none, entertain a motion. Oh, sorry, it's a public hearing. Anyone care to speak on this? Seeing no one, please let that be noted. Entertain a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion to ordinance 2025-1136 as presented.
Got a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance 2025-1137, again, a public hearing and final reading. An ordinance amending the municipal code of the city of Mount Pleasant is set forth in Title 7, Chapter 2 regarding an update to current fire codes.
The purpose of this ordinance is just to update the International Fire Code to the 2024 version. There's no change from first reading.
Exactly. All right, this is a public hearing. Anybody care to speak? Please let the records show that nobody did. Entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we approve ordinance 2025-1137 as presented.
Got a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance 2025-1138, a public hearing and final reading. An ordinance to amend Title 19, Chapter 3 of the Mount Pleasant Municipal Code relating to gas.
All right, so this is updating your gas ordinance. There are several changes that we went over from first reading, but I'll go through those again real quickly. So it says the city will provide a gas connection or tap in a 3/4 inch gas meter at the cost of $300 to new residential and commercial gas customers within the current gas system service. So currently the tap and the first 500 feet of connection line are free, but now we're adding this $300 charge. This is for new customers. All customers requesting a larger gas meter or tap will have to submit to the utility department for review. And then upgraded tap, service line, and meter fees shall be set by the city manager and the gas inspector based on the cost of equipment, labor, and materials furnished. Those are for bigger than single-family residences. This ordinance increases the cost of gas connection lines from $1.50 per foot to $5 per foot. So before, your current ordinance said the first 50 feet was free. So now we're not only saying it's not free, but we're including increasing the cost per foot. We're adding or modifying the customer maintenance charge for residential, commercial, and industrial customers. The rates are residential is $5, commercial is $25, industrial is $75. The previous rate was $5 for everybody, so the only change is for commercial and industrial. There is the schedule of rates. So gas is calculated based off of a formula. That formula is mostly unchanged. The changes that we're making are we are saying that we're changing the definition of product cost to say including discretionary portion of monthly fluctuating gas discount, which allows you to use the muni gas discount in your calculation. We are also adding a section different from first reading, where we are setting the gas fixed rate to $6.70.
It's $4.95 right now.
It just makes it easier to read when we have that amount in there.
In the past, that it wasn't listed anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something that city's been charging. Like, it's probably better to have it documented that way it's written. That that's the thing.
So gas calculation is still based off of a formula, but that is one piece to the formula. Customer billing and payment policy, we're removing the $25 service fee because we already have a $75 reconnection fee. Also, we have some changes from first reading. So I believe those were highlighted in your packet.
The yellow, yeah.
And it's all the parts that are in yellow. That includes the fixed rate of $6.70. We are also going to ask for you to make one change to the ordinance as presented, and that goes back to the first page or with last page of the ordinance itself in paragraph 5. We felt like that wasn't completely accurate.
It's section 5, and then it just showed that it's anticipated off this year's budget and the budget ordinance we passed in July, it would be outdated in 6 months. Hopefully it's not 12 years before we come back in front of you again, but it just didn't seem right. It's still been okay, but
It is in line with your budget, but we felt like this was kind of,
like,
yeah.
Would we have to bring it back every year
Yeah.
to change the fiscal year on our ordinance, because it says it's in line with this year, but it's for all years going forward till you all change it again. So that little section's removed from we're asking for it to be removed. That way the document that gets signed is that line item is not. Makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Can I, ask a favor? And I don't know if it'll be hard or not, but up, you know, where the customer type is and the fee amount. Since we've been talking about that for, I guess, for a month.
Yeah, longer.
And, cause some people, I think, you know, it's got, you know, that our gas is gonna go way up. At least if they see this right here, residential, it's staying at $5, you know, at least that will, you know, I don't know if you can put that on the bill when it goes out.
That the $5 is staying.
Yeah, I don't know if you can put that little section right there, you
Oh,
know,
on like a message that this is, okay,
yeah,
you're saying in the
That makes a lot
messages
of
in the
yeah,
building.
yeah, I
Okay,
mean, that
yeah,
way, you know,
can
It
put
gives
that
them
on the
some
next,
advice.
yeah.
right, it, you know, it,
That the minimum for residential is not changing, it stays at
Yeah,
5, the
yes,
fee will stay at
yes.
5, and then
yes,
I
I
can
think,
see that getting out, that we're
Yeah.
raising everybody in
Yeah.
the.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
The overall rate for everybody's going up, but that fee is not going up for residential.
and, can I ask another favor?
Mhm.
If the 15th, let's just say 15th is the last due date, correct?
Yes.
Okay, if it falls on the 15th, I had somebody to call me. When is, if they come in and pay that bill Monday morning, it's past due,
No.
or do they have a certain,
If it's on a
So
Saturday.
if anybody drops anything over the weekend in the mailbox or comes before all the mail is processed, the girls usually wait till around lunch to make sure they have processed all the mail and received everything. And then after that in the afternoon is when they process late fees. Unless somebody went online and made a payment, any payment that is made before lunch is considered good to go. Like they won't get charged, including online payments.
and that's good that we do that. But can I guess, ask you to put that on the bill, you know, that after,
It is.
Is
it
On
with it
on
the
there?
back of the bill,
Yeah.
it says all payments should be received on or before the
The
15th
15th.
to avoid a
well, I'm
10%
talking
penalty.
about, you know, but it's not really that. Because you got the 15th is Saturday, 16th is Sunday, 17th is Monday, so you actually got 12 o'clock Monday, and that's where this individual,
And I know the individual you're talking about because I think this is may not have been the first time this has happened for them. But it's just like if they drop it off in the mailbox, they would have been okay because they dropped it off when the girls, they check everything, and the reason they can't charge the fee 8 o'clock in the morning is because the mailbox is usually full. You know, a drop box for the drive-through. So it is everybody who has made an effort to make a payment, but I mean, I can put that out there that it would be after 1 o'clock maybe. And the reason it's 1 o'clock, it's not written down anywhere. It's just
can we,
so they can process all the mail and drop offs before they charge the penalty. Because those people made it on time. They just, you know, we weren't here to
right.
process it on the
can we
weekend.
just have that in there? If it's not, you know, like the due date is the 15th, which, you know, we're off.
Yes.
So that following Monday, you know, it has to be paid before 1 o'clock. Just to
Okay.
clear up some,
Okay.
I mean, it's already there, I'm talking about, it should be in by the 15th.
Yes.
It should be.
I
in
think
by
your
the
ordinance
15th.
says like the due date
Yeah, on the
and,
last
Yeah,
page.
and
Yeah.
in the calculation of days. So I don't know that we want to like change the due date, or I don't think y'all have the ability to
But-
do that. But if she can clarify with people when they call in that it's not late.
And we told him like the person that you're talking about, they came late in the afternoon and the penalty had already been processed. Technically, if we were very like, we would have to process, the reason the people get some grace period for a few hours is because if you look at the mail that we get on a Monday morning after the 15th fell on a weekend or on a Friday, it's a lot.
Well, I understand
And we
that.
do that with property taxes too. If somebody's property taxes were mailed on the 28th of February, that's the due date, they would not, the state, even the county and us, we will not charge them a penalty because they mailed it on time. So we have to backdate and move all of those people's penalties off. But it's the things that are written on the bill right now and on the website, they're all uniform and they say you have to pay on or before the 15th. I do see what you're saying. There may be a couple of people that may fall through the cracks because they walked in the morning and handed us a payment. They could have dropped it in the box at the same, on the morning
So
of
I'm
the
gonna add to
17th.
that, it says the 15th.
Yeah,
What we're doing now is
you're doing better.
courtesy
You're doing
because
courtesy.
of process that.
But that's what I'm saying,
It
though.
says the
But
15th. And that's what y'all
but what
laid
if
out front of us.
somebody else come in the next day to pay theirs and say, well, here, you took care of this guy's? You know, I don't know where
Well,
the,
I guess in a way we didn't take care of somebody if they dropped it in the mailbox. Unless somebody was working over the weekend, there would be no way for them to, because not only are they still managing the drive-through and working the windows, they're also trying to process all the mail and all the drop box. And I have worked up there after a due date, and I mean, it will be a
Oh, I
pile
can
of
imagine.
stuff. It can take them 4 or 5 hours to just process the mail that morning. And that's why the penalty, because the system has to process those payments. Because if I go in there and apply penalties Monday morning, it's going to charge every person
oh,
that
yeah.
doesn't have a
Well, I mean,
payment
you couldn't
applied.
do
Yeah.
that because it was
So,
dated the 15th. or
Correct.
whatever. I understand that
Yeah.
part. But I just
exactly.
afraid there was some miscommunication. somewhere.
No, it's been this way for a while. It's just when some, and I hate, we have cutoffs, and in the cutoffs, it's like, okay, on the 26th of the month, you will get cut off if you haven't paid your bill. And it's 1 o'clock listed on the website. And all of these are printed on everybody's bills. On the back of your bill, it lists everything. It's just sometimes people fall through the cracks, and they're in rare scenarios, like we don't have it written anywhere that we can just waive it because it's your first time. It's just not. Cut, yes, we won't cut you off because we want to make sure you have water if it's, or gas if it's cold. We will not cut off on a weekend. If somebody didn't pay their bill, we will leave. Like Thanksgiving, we were just talking about before the meeting, 26th is our cutoff date. So there's certain things that we do because we're also a government utility. We're not a private owned business
Right.
to have, we're not just going to cut you off and leave you without water for 3 days because it's a long weekend. We wait till the next Monday. But most of the stuff that we do as far as penalties goes, we have to be very we have to do it this way, and it's done for everybody that way. If we start picking and choosing, it gets, and I don't want to put a time out there because if the girls get a processing mail in 3 hours, then it won't be 1 o'clock. They just literally their goal is that morning is process all the mail and drop boxes and put the penalties on. She just got that day. She was at 1 o'clock. It's usually
But a walk-in can come in and he can still pay his
then
regular bill.
they could, and I don't know. This gentleman may have had that happen to him before, but it's just we can charge him a penalty. I mean, but I just they're already processing so many people. If somebody walked in that morning, yeah, I mean, people who pay us bills every month know how the girls work up front too. They have a monthly, they have a daily, monthly relationship with them, so they know what's going on. I hate to put a time out there because again, it's not in our ordinance. If we may, and if you all want to amend the ordinance, it's a procedure. It's more of a procedure than it is a rule or a law. The rule of the law is
The
the
time
15th.
is in there, or the date is
Yeah,
already
yeah,
in the
yeah.
ordinance.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
this is just practically,
Yeah, practically, it's impossible to go ahead and
But I
put the
think
penalty
that's
on a
the
Monday
problem,
morning.
when people sees that it falls on the weekend, they can wait
And
till
people will drop
Monday,
off.
they
Yeah.
feel like they can, and that's not necessarily the case.
No, I mean, our bills, Muni Gas is one of the bills we pay online, the 20th. If the 20th falls on a holiday, they want me to pay it on the 19th. That's our gas bill that we have to pay for the gas that's supplied to us. And they're like, if it's on the 20th, you got to pay the day before. They don't even give us the grace period of 1 day. And that's the whole city's gas that we get, so. But I mean, we try to work with the customers where we can. It's just when it gets into something like that, it's a citywide, we're not picking and choosing. It's a penalty batch that posts to everybody that doesn't have a payment as of that point.
I'm good.
All right. Any other questions?
Appreciate what you do.
Hearing none up here, this is a public hearing. Anybody care to speak? Please let the minutes reflect no one did. Entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we accept ordinance 2025-1138 as presented.
Got a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Monthly report from Mayor. Philip and I were discussing it this morning. I don't think we quite expected to see the landscape crew here yesterday morning quite as early as they would.
start were, so it's nice to see that going on.
Mhm.
It's looking nice already. So looks good, and things are kind of hopping around here. Exentra is getting ready to hang walls. Project Mustang, I now know why it was called Mustang. It's moving at a rapid pace. There's a stack of dirt out there right now I can't believe. And same over at the TSC site. So
Mhm.
a lot going on. It's good to see.
Yes.
Monthly financial budget report.
I sent you all the financials on Friday, but I put an updated copy of the capital projects that I emailed you with some notes. And I just wanted you all to see. I didn't write this down.
Yeah, it's here. Jiffer, we've got everything we need right here.
So I just wanted you all to see, this is a more of a summary of just totals. Each one of these totals, we actually have, we have to audit. This is construction and process. Most of this is items that got audited on June 30th for their balances. It's, Miss Willie, do you have one?
I don't think so.
It was left up here. Here.
Oh, here's the next one.
I might got it somewhere. Hold on. Thank you.
So I have done these for y'all. If you look at the column that says, on the top it says city funds, grant or match, you will see majority of these projects are grant or match. And I had Michael pull it up. Total projects and this is money spent. This is not money that's not spent yet. This is, as of today, this is what we had spent in these projects. 27.5 million that we have spent on projects. About 6.6, if you see out there, is downtown.
Mhm.
And what I was going to highlight on that, if you look at, it's broken down by engineering and construction. Engineering goes all the way back to 2020.
Yeah.
So that's not what we have spent in the last year.
No.
This is balances on projects, because once a project starts and we start tracking it, it stays under our construction in process line for our balance sheet on auditors. Until it's finished, it'll stay in these line items for me. And then we balance those line items with the auditors every year. But just wanted you all to know, if you're like, the budget for the actual engineering was 500 some thousand once the project started. It's 1.2 on there, but that's all the stuff that the city had done, the preliminary project, the preliminary designs and stuff that you all may have looked at before the grant was done and everything. That's how much the downtown project is going to end up almost being. We still have about $500,000 left in that project to pay. But I just wanted you all to have that. It's a lot of information to look at, but I just wanted you all to see how much of it was grant funded.
No, it's really good.
Yeah, but
Majority of them are grant and match.
if you look at this, it's 27 million, but 18 of it is a sewer facility,
Correct.
which we got very, very large grants, and
Yep.
the balance of it we got on loans at 1% for 40 years.
Mhm.
Yep, it's
So
But-
we're doing fine on that.
Yep, between Rainy Street and the sewer plant, it's about 18, and then about 6 point something is downtown. So majority, big chunks are right there, but then the rest of them are small projects that we just started. Actually, some of them are big projects, but we just haven't paid enough. We've got, let's see, the ones that are in process, the residential meters, we approved that. It's all the way at the bottom of the sheet. We've only spent 31,500. That's engineering. But we're about to start paying for the actual meters, and we've had our pre-construction meeting last week. So we've actually got, these guys are going to start working with we bid the construction part of it out, or the installation part of it out, and we're buying the supplies. So that's something that citizens are going to start seeing. They'll get notices from our utilities department when their neighborhood is getting worked in to replace residential meters. The water plant skid project, that's a big one. That's kind of working with USDA. The government's open back up, so we'll have more on that next month. CDBG industrial meters, that's in construction now. We actually received our first invoice, so that's going to be a big one. Every industrial meter is about to get replaced. TDEC ARPA, I think everybody's seen the water line getting replaced on North Main. And then the infrastructure planning grant has a sewer and a water section. Those are mostly studies for our zone. One is going to be water zone meters, and the other one is going to be just sewer study to figure out the weak points in our system. And yeah, the UV light is the last piece of the sewer plant that's getting installed. So just, you all come up with questions, just let me know. This is the big stuff. This isn't even the stuff that we do every day. This is stuff, it's part of every day, but this is the stuff I have to track because it's big dollar amounts. So we
Right.
track this for our auditors. And these are the documents. Each one of these line items have all the transactions behind them in our system. So Tanya tracks them with me to, when she pays an invoice, she knows which project it goes to. She assigns it. So a lot of these numbers come from her.
Right.
I'm just thankful we have somebody capable of doing
We
it.
have a lot of
Amen.
capital
Amen.
projects.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Amen.
Thank you.
All right, thank you,
Thank you.
Shipper. Any questions of Shipper? Hearing none,
I
entertain a
couldn't do
motion.
it with, I was gonna say, I couldn't do it without my staff, because like I said, they know where
No, there's
everything is.
no way
If they're
to.
putting things in the right place, I can track it.
Got an
Right.
excellent staff.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Entertain a motion for the approval of the budget report.
I make a motion to approve the monthly financial budget report as presented.
Got a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Monthly report from city manager.
Mayor and Commissioners, you alluded a little bit about the downtown and the landscaping. A couple of items left, punch lists remain. And then in addition to the final electrical inspection with the lights and the fountain. Moving on to the next subject, the water department has ordered some hydrant locks. Over the last several months, we've suspected people stealing, caught people stealing in the outsources of town on our hydrants. There's been some police reports made. Dale's got one here. You can come on up, Dale, to show you. We're not putting them on every hydrant, but it's in areas that low lit, that people are just taking our water.
Yeah.
So we've notified all the fire departments in the area, and they know how to take that off if that hydrant is needed.
So water theft is a concern, but a major concern is a cross connection. So if somebody is illegally connecting to our hydrants, there is a chance of contamination. So a lot of your remote hydrants, people will abuse that. As well as my latest quote for just a hydrant alone with no additional parts or anything is $3,153. That doesn't take into account for digging up and all the other things. We did a lot of research. There's so many different locking systems, and we settled on this one because it's easily removed if the fire department was to be an emergency scenario. There's a lot of different things with this one. This goes on your operating nut. You set some set screws. Everything is operational here. Put this cover on there, and then you lock it. So, and we have kind of a standard lock that we'll put on these. Fire department will have keys, but in an emergency scenario, this is one of the better ones to get access to the fire hydrant. Yes, sir.
Is this just for maybe commercial people are coming in and needing water and they fill up their tanks? or is
It
this-
happens everywhere.
Really?
Even where I came from, farmers. I'm not saying all farmers, but people with water needs. If they have a tank and there's a hydrant over here, and there's been scenarios where 30 years ago so and so said it would be fine, and they just always assumed it.
It's fine.
But I mean, is that hydrant coming off of the meter or is it?
No meter.
They will hook
There's no
directly to a
limit.
hydrant. And there are legal things that you have to do in the backflow prevention side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do this, let's say that you're mixing up a pesticide at your house and you have a hose down in it and there's a line break, it'll siphon that into the
Right.
system. And when we don't know, again, that doesn't happen all the time, but it could
It
happen.
can happen.
And what this will do is we'll go to areas where we're concerned about our hydrants and we'll put these on there, and that should take care of it for
Like,
us.
how often does that happen?
More than you would think.
Yeah.
We've caught several culprits,
Wow.
and we've corrected it. So we already know a couple areas that we need these desperately.
Is that just a place where you need to flush a line out or something?
It's just, let's say that you have 1,000-gallon tank, you need water. Some people really don't think it's a big issue. I don't think they do it out of any kind of negativity, but they just don't think about it. You're going to go over and you're going to fill up 1,000 gallons and go on. If you operate that improperly, you could break something downstream. You could water hammer. There's a lot of things that really could go wrong with it.
I'm not saying
And
that's
they
I'm not saying that's part of our problem, but I could see where if it's done more often than we think, that there's probably quite a bit of water loss somewhere.
It's to
Yeah.
the point where we agree on that we should lock hydrants in
Lock
certain areas.
hydrants, yeah.
Keep in mind, a hydrant it depends on the color, but most of them are 500 to 1,000 gallons per minute.
Minute.
Yeah, I'm like, how do they even control all that water?
They got it, they can gate it down.
Yeah, you
all
have
that
a
good stuff,
valve,
but
yeah.
You
it's
can open it up.
significant, so.
You could just
I
open
guess
it
my
up a little
question,
bit.
Dad, you said set screws, I have to take the set screws out, then why can't you just sit that on there and put the lock? 'Cause I mean,
So-
you're looking at time when you gotta,
So what this does is this becomes a permanent fixture.
Yeah.
oh, it's permanent,
So we will
okay.
install this part and it
They
set
just have to
screws
unlock
onto
it.
it. So once that's on there, your normal wrench size is here. So it's still standard. You just put this cap on there and you lock it, and now they can't access the operating node.
Right, but I'm saying if you got a fire and the fire department trying to get that off, they just have to unlock that one?
Yes, you just remove this lock.
And
And that's
lock
it,
cover it.
okay, I
That's
just
it.
worried about the set, okay.
And that's why we like this one the best, because there's a
Okay.
lot of different systems. Some of them will take more time to operate, take off. This one's very quick and
How
very
much something like that costs?
$113 a piece,
Oh, totally.
give or take, depending on the vendor.
Hey, I was just looking at
And
time.
they get
if,
1,000 gallons of water and it's
You pay
paid for
for
itself.
itself, yeah.
Well, a small water truck can be 1,500, 3,000 gallons.
Yeah, I
And,
mean,
and
it's,
there's been times where we've had the instance ourselves where we knew there was a pressure drop. When we went to investigate, you seen where someone had been in a hydrant, and they're gone by the time you're alerted.
you're there, that's right.
Oh, yeah, we definitely need that.
Wow.
Thank you.
I
Thank
didn't want you
Dale.
guys to
Thank
be
you, Dale.
aware of it in case you get some phone calls about some hydrants being locked, so you know.
Well,
the
then we
purpose.
know who we need to go see.
Yeah,
No, I don't need to go see nobody.
yeah, I think that'd be cautious about reporting that.
Still have just a few more things. We sold some computer equipment. It wasn't over from our surplus policy. It wasn't over the 500, so it needed to come to you to surplus. But when Michael put it on Gov Deals, he did bring in like $102. So just notifying you that we did surplus some old computer equipment or desktops, and he did bring in $100 that would just go back into the general fund. So making you aware of that. A couple of reminders. Saturday, November 29th, Main Street is putting on the tree lighting. The tree should be going up this week in
Okay.
front of the square. So hopefully that's there by this weekend. And then also reminder that December 8th at 6 p.m. is the annual Christmas parade. And of course, we have the public hearing December 8th at 7.
Yeah,
We changed that to 7. So we got that last month.
Yep.
And then lastly, bring your attention to the employee spotlight. Brent Cockrell, as most of you know, he's a captain within the fire department. He's been there 14 years. But I'm going to read a quote from that, and I think it explains him
Mm-hmm.
100%. He's the go-to problem solver for Mount Pleasant, from repairing police cruisers, taking care of the police all the time, and garbage trucks to even keep the splash pad running for local families. Brent's fingerprints are on every corner of our community. He's been spotted fixing plumbing at City Hall and helping installing security cameras, and there's no task too big or too small. And y'all seen him in action. He's just one of those people who can do.
It's something else now.
We got some good employees.
Yeah, like-
Like I hate to ask another, but something like I'm saying, questions or whatever. But on our lights downtown, is there any way that, I mean, to me, it's dark. Is there any way that we could put a LED light in one of those lights and see if it, maybe it's just me, that, you know, to brighten it up a little more?
It's just
You know, the lights, you know, the street
They are
lights,
LEDs.
are they? Man,
I don't think it's dark.
you don't
think
think it
it's-
is? Yeah. I do.
It caught me off
Hey,
guard.
I'm older, so maybe.
Yeah,
It caught me,
Like,
I tell you what caught me off guard about it, and they had to remind me, were the old lights, light like this,
Yeah.
LED lights like that,
Yeah,
where you and I, because I was the same way, I was used to seeing it.
yeah. I guess that makes sense, but I guess maybe the older I get.
And if we look right there right now, look how bright it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's out there, but
That's
Close.
deceiving.
I know, but it, hey, look, you're not the first one, because I said, I don't think they're working right. And then they reminded me that they're LED.
Yeah.
Looks pretty.
Yeah, they look
It is
great.
pretty. I ain't complaining about that.
All right, special reports from other departments, wastewater.
So the wastewater, in the packet, yeah, I think you've got a bunch of invoices that were submitted. So moving forward, we'll talk more about, do we need to do a wastewater liaison? But I'll hit the highlights of what they're still working on. The consent closeout, paperwork to TDEC, actually got a copy of that today, so it's gonna be done this month.
Cool.
Barge continues to complete the operation manual. Remember that whole glove box owner's manual thing? So they know how to operate that $18 million wastewater treatment plant. And then Barge is starting their asset management plan that was required by the TDEC ARPA money. So those are the highlights of the wastewater.
And just for everybody's information, when we had the grand opening of the new sewer system, it's been since the early 2000s, this community's been under some type of an order with Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation. And we're gonna be out from under one.
Mm.
And that's huge.
Mhm.
I mean, one time you could not build another house in this room.
Right.
So that's huge. Not polluting gas.
We had the ordinance earlier, and then we got two things on the agenda that's related to gas now.
Okay. All right. New business. Resolution 2025-53, a resolution to apply for an EDA grant.
Mayor and Commissioners, this is given the authority to apply for $6.5 million. Well, the total cost is $6.5 million. The EDA federal is a $4 million grant. And then also with those matching funds, we're going to apply for the Tennessee ECD grant to help with those matches. But you're giving us the authority to apply for the $4 million EDA.
Any questions?
Thankful for y'all to think about that.
Got some great help with that too outside of here,
Central.
particularly through
Yeah, South
TDEC,
Central and South Central.
South Central, yeah. Wow.
Appreciate it.
Any no questions, entertain a motion for approval.
Make a motion, we approve resolution 2025-53 as presented.
Got a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. EDA grant, gas engineering services, CEC.
Mayor and Commissioners, a part of that grant, we had to do a request for proposal to recommend engineering services for that. We chose a civil engineering consultant who's already doing our gas and our model. So I don't think no vote or anything, or it's just there's an action on it.
Just an action.
Action item.
Okay,
Action item.
We don't
Okay.
have the documents yet.
okay.
Yeah, no contract or anything.
Any questions on that? Again, it's just EDA grant. All right, approval of Canaan Road paving bid.
Wait, we do need action on it. There's just no resolution. Sorry, I set that backwards. So we're awarding it to
CEC.
CEC.
Okay, all right. Then we'll accept a motion to award this to CEC.
Make a
What is-
motion. Go ahead, Mike.
No, you go.
Make a motion that EDA grant gas engineer service be awarded to CEC.
Got a motion, we have a second. Got a second, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Mayor and Commissioners, just to clarify, there's no contract. That's just a
Right.
request for proposal.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. Approval of Canaan Road paving bid.
Mayor and Commissioners, I put in front of you the bid sheet from our lowest bid. Do y'all have that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm gonna read those out loud. I guess you want me to read out the total bids or just go through the one we're recommending? I can do it quickly.
Okay,
So we received 4 bids for Canaan Road, volunteer paving. The base bid was $190,872.20. Rogers Group's base bid was $225,040. Advanced paving was $197,500, and Nickel Contracting base bid was $176,914.60. What I put in front of you, I'm gonna read everything that's in that base bid. So if you're looking at the first one, the paving itself on the square yards, quantity is 9,333 square yards. The cost is $148,581.36. The next one is to tie in the driveway aprons. So there's 14 of them at $600 each. The next is to restripe the reflected paint and striping, 17,200 linear feet at $11,366. Next is install stop bars at William Springs Road, Norman Road, and Watkins Drive. There's 3 of them, $2,445. The unstable subgrade that we've talked about a lot, and I'll come back to that, but that's $125 a square yard. Next is a shoulder repair. So Ted and staff identified there's some shoulder that needs to be repaired. So that's between addresses 389 and 393. It's 154 linear feet at $9,990. And then lastly on this, the entrance to Watkins Drive, 309 Canaan Road, to cover the sewer main patch, replace entrance at Norman to allow stop bar, 247 square yards at $3,932.24. That equals the low bid of $176,914.60. What I requested you guys to give me the ability to go back to the subgrade and go ahead and approve 100 square yards at the 125. So that's $12,500. So approve this bid not to exceed, without coming back in front of you, of $189,414.60, which is still cheaper than the other three bids without their subgrade.
And we know it's coming.
Yeah, we know it's coming. How much was the 14 driveways
The 14 driveways were $600 each.
each? Okay.
So that comes to 8,400,
Yeah.
right? I just, to me, that adds up, that column with those at 600 for 14 of them comes to 184 two instead of 176. I'm just trying, maybe I've got something wrong.
So it's $600 per.
That's what it says. So
Yeah.
maybe.
So yeah, they're right. It's,
It didn't
Put
make,
it at
it
600,
didn't
so
add
yeah,
up
if
right
they
to
had to
me.
do more than, they're saying each if applicable, so they could, it
Be
could be
18.
600, it could be
670,
640.
I didn't even think about that part.
But we totaled it all and it says 176. So there may be, you may have caught something there.
it's 18.4
Yeah,
Yeah.
or
yep,
8,400.
that's what I got, 18.4. 184 two.
Um,
Well, let's just say they start this job and get 3/4 through it. And they're over.
not to exceed.
You have to bring it back.
You gotta bring it back.
Well, I know that, but I mean, what are you gonna do?
Well, they've identified those 14 that need it.
Well, I know that.
And I don't think there's many more than that up and down where this is gonna be done. You think about it, Mike, because
Oh, I know it. I know.
I'm just trying to think of the entrances that are.
Well, you're still under the other bids, even at,
Well, if you're looking at it like that, if you go down to the stop bars, there's three of them. They quoted at 24.45. Does that need to be multiplied by three?
We'd have thought they would have put the total in there.
Total, that was supposed to have been the
but
cost.
see,
But that's what they
Hold
have
on just a
done.
second, hold on just a second.
If we're not comfortable, I think we can defer and bring it
Yeah.
back to you on December 8th.
You know,
it's typically when I do an
Okay, we got
invoice
time.
like this, they're putting the quantity and then that's how many per. They've done it both ways. They're doing, some of them they're doing like,
Quantity.
yeah, it doesn't make
The
sense.
unit says each, so that's when the ones that you're multiplying. It's either the unit says total or square
Right.
foot or each.
Mhm.
Oh, I apologize.
oh, no.
So
no.
obviously we need to defer it because I don't.
We
have the
need
right
to
ones.
defer this, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you why. I just ran the numbers and I come up with 198,919.
Which would that means they're not the lowest bid because I have to go back and look at the sub.
That's because you're doing the 24.45 times 3.
How many days do we have to accept them once we open it? 60
Um,
days?
It's 30 and no later than 45, but we're getting into the winter season and
They'll shut
asphalt.
down the
So we
plants.
did this quickly. We may.
So did these other other ones do the same?
I'd have to go to my computer and pull. You got them?
Yeah. They've done it the same. That's what, I think when we started comparing these, we were comparing them on the basis of, did they all do it uniformly in the sense like, if they all put the same amount, or, you know, they didn't put the totals
Yeah.
versus the per item. So I'm about to pull up all of them real quick and just confirm that. The only one that was different when we originally looked at it was one of them put 100 square yards for the subgrade.
Yeah.
And so if the subgrade was gonna be that, we were like, everybody needs to be treated the same.
Not making excuses, what's throwing me off, their total was 176,914. So that is,
Everybody's done it the same way, y'all, except for the 100 square yards on Rogers. Remember when we had said that they had,
So
Yeah.
the other one,
everybody's done them, so it's
so
it's
theirs is
comparable.
but theirs is gonna be hard also.
Correct.
according to
Their
their
amount- Yeah,
bids.
because if they did the per unit cost that was already higher than Nichols, then yes, the unit cost multiplied by the number needed would be higher.
I've got a suggestion. Philip, what did you say that you wanted to be able to do for that sub base,
No more than 100 square yards.
which would be,
12.5 on that.
all right, then my suggestion is that we approve
But we don't want,
$189,000.
Which would still be cheaper than the rest. They're still low bid.
but
Yeah,
we
that
don't,
same rate I got too. I mean,
but at the same time, we don't wanna,
But that's without the
to
sub.
do cheaper work. I mean, I don't wanna
Well,
say
no,
that.
well, what
but
I'm doing, as Philip requested to be able to, if that subgrade needs to be done, that gives him to that number to get that done in addition to that number. No more. I'm adding that 12 to it.
To the 189.
No, to the 176. So you're saying you wanted to accept a bid of 176,914 with the ability to
But it's-
go up to, if the
With the
subgrade needs to
subgrade,
be
if it needs to
corrected,
be, yes.
up to $12,000.
But we throw the wrench in it when someone identified there's
There's three,
3
yeah.
each and there's
Still ain't
14
adding up.
Right.
And then the 14 at 600 each.
Can we not just bring this back up next month, let y'all go back to the table and?
I think you should,
I
but it's
think we
totally up to you
should.
guys, but it
Oh,
may.
I'm with you.
I
I'm
mean,
not gonna
it may go
disagree with
past
it. I just
our-
want,
That way we
It may
can
be
make-
spring before you see it.
I mean,
That's
this
fine.
200 grand.
I agree.
I mean,
So I don't think we should
I'm
just,
okay going with what Bill's saying at the 189,
I just want to make sure
but,
that,
you know, I want the work to be,
Complete.
yes.
right, you know, we
And I
don't
don't want him to take shortcuts.
and I want to make sure that they're
We-
still going to be the lowest bid.
bid, right, so they might not be the lowest
Well,
bid.
they still will be at 189.
They still, that's right. That's the reason why I was
Yeah.
saying, we
They
give it
still-
up
But you ain't
to,
seen the rest of their,
Yeah, that's what she was saying. She said when you add theirs in, theirs is going up.
That portion would, I would,
I think we should
So-
just bring it back next month. Give y'all a chance to look at it, and everybody that put their bid in.
So I think there's 2 options there. Next month is probably not feasible because we're getting into winter months.
Okay, well, maybe Jake,
Now, I like what you're saying is
Won't do
that
it
you
till
can
spring.
approve it up to this, and then in December, if there is a change order for sub-base, I'll just have to wait till December to bring it to you. However you want to move
I
forward.
mean, I'm okay with what Bill's saying at the 189, because there's no, rest of them, they're still way up.
they're still above it.
They're still above it.
Because their sub
I'm
base
not-
is no different. That's the reason why I'm trying, because of, the only reason I'm making that suggestion is the asphalt plants are gonna close.
everybody else,
Rogers did do totals.
Rogers did. So that's when like Rogers was the highest bid, but they did put totals, which makes sense why there was the highest, because they
Yeah.
actually put totals.
right,
Yeah.
they put all theirs in that one package.
So Rogers
So they
did
did.
estimate
Rogers
quantities
did, but the rest of them did.
and then estimated everything else, and their bid was 225, which is probably going to be pretty firm. But we didn't go that because with nickel, you had to make up $50,000 in sub base until you
Mhm.
pulled out that we missed the each on quantities.
Right.
And
Oh.
yeah, Rogers is the only one that actually
They
Total.
included all the eaches. and
correct.
everything,
They
yes.
multiplied the each with the, or they said it's included in the base or something. You know,
Right.
Everybody else is kind of done per unit cost. So
So
nickel
when-
may-
When would we have to approve it before we have to rebid? December? Can we do it
They wouldn't
December?
have time
I
to.
mean, it would have to be done. Yeah.
It'll be done next year.
Yeah.
Spring.
Not, I mean, the bidding.
The bid and not the
So the
work.
bid
Yeah.
was opened on November the 13th. If it's 45 days,
Okay, so we
would it
could,
be 45 days?
you could still accept it in December. That's
Right.
what I was getting at. And what they're saying is the work wouldn't start till next spring.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
And they won't, I can assure you that they are not
Yeah, that's
going to
true.
keep that bid in place.
no, see, that's the other thing. I don't know what to,
I can assure you they won't.
Well,
they have to keep it in place for 45 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about if you have to rebid it next year.
We don't plan on bidding it. We plan on bidding on it next month. We got 45 days.
Willie, if they don't get this done, but this year,
It's a
Well,
bid.
they will honor that. It's the
Yes.
oil index price
you
that
have to
may or may
rebid
not.
it.
We're not
Okay.
rebidding it, Bill.
Hold on. The plants are gonna shut down.
Right.
And if they don't get this done in time to get this year, they are not going to honor these
because
bids.
the asphalt price could go
It's
up.
gonna go, it has every year.
Well, I'm not, y'all go ahead. I'm not accepting that unless we can, like, if you think Rogers is the next one, this right here is not clarification for me, because it ain't adding up right.
Well, I think one thing is, I agree with you. I'm glad I did this because you pulled it out where we missed it. Missed it.
But that's why I don't like when people come in and they shoot the low bid and, or whoever, and then they say, well, here, I gotta do this other base. When they bid on a job,
Yeah.
you know, they should have enough experience to look at that and know exactly what they got to do.
Can we not go ahead and go with Rogers then, since y'all think they're the next?
They're
Oh,
the highest.
yeah, I don't,
When you do, they got it all in one though, is what they were just
I think you
saying.
should defer.
Yeah,
On a
I-
recommendation.
Still, I feel like
You're
to
not
give
going with-
everybody a fair, proper chance, we need to look at it
Yes.
in detail. And
Can we defer?
we may need to call some
Yep.
of the contractors. And
I
be like,
think,
"Did
I
you
think
put
some
per
phone
unit?"
calls need
Yeah.
to be made tomorrow about if we defer this to December the 8th,
December 16th.
16th.
can
Will
they,
they still be able to get the job done?
at that price,
Yes.
at that price.
In the bid specs, they will honor the price, but it's
Mhm.
based off the oil index. If we wait
That's what
for
I'm
45
saying.
days, so it
But if
could go up or
But
down.
if I'm in the business, how could I, you know, say, yeah, I'll do you this, and then come, let's say April and start the job and come back to the city and say, well, y'all, I'm sorry, but, you know, I gotta have some more money. And it wouldn't be no difference in what we're doing right here, to me.
Corey?
But I mean,
You're
if
an
he'll do
attorney.
it, if he'll do it for 189, you know,
What I'm worried about is accepting the bid within the time frame, within the 45 days. It sounds like because you opened it a couple weeks ago, you've got until past the December date to approve
Yes.
it. When they bid something, they bid the total cost it would take to do these line items. What is fluctuating in there, Philip? What?
So it's talking about, there's two categories in here that shows each. It's 14 at 600, but they did a total cost at 176. So I need to clarify that as well. I doubt that you can do 14 aprons for $600. I bet it's each, like it says, but they totaled it at 176,914.
And the same thing with the stop bars. They've got 3 quantity
Right.
and then 24.45. So
Right.
we really don't know if that's the total for 3 or if that's per. So then that brings it up to 189 if we did 3 times at
So-
24.45.
but we're safe on the 189.
I think
And if he says that he, you know, he can do it, I don't see, you know, pushing it back, because I think it's gonna cost us more in the long run.
Mhm.
That's just, and he can tell us right there, no, I can't do it for 189.
I think what they're telling you though is that they don't know that this is the low or best bid.
Well, I thought they said the way that Schiffer was explaining it,
Everybody did it
But
unit
Rogers.
except Rogers, but now I'm like, I need
So-
to take those units and
Right.
multiply it, make sure that that bottom line then, because we took it as totals,
Right.
not as
And-
units.
that's the way they put it on paper. The total is 176,914. Now I see what you're saying. So you could award this at, like we presented, 176,914, and then not to exceed the 100 at 189. And I'm calling tomorrow and say, this is how we read it. Do you read it the same way we did? And they say no. How does that?
We have to go
What does
back
that
and
look
bid
like,
it
Corey?
again.
Redid it?
Right.
What you're
redid it.
accepting is
This,
This.
yes.
this,
and
But if
so,
he's,
and not going over 189.
but
I think
You tell
I
us
think
what we
if
should do.
personally, I don't see those aprons costing $600 a piece. Those aprons are usually like this.
yeah, for 14 of them, it's not gonna be 600.
No, I'm saying those aprons are not gonna cost $600 a piece.
Would be, you're saying the other way.
It could be right, like it is. But
Yes, that's what I'm getting at.
we don't know that, but it's a good point that you brought up.
Corey, is our,
That would mean they're
Attorney.
$43 a piece.
you're supposed to accept the,
What they
when you put
presented.
something out for public bid,
How
you're
much?
supposed to accept the
$43.
lowest and or best bid. And so
I don't know
your
what
staff
it
is
is,
telling you
so
that they don't know the answer to that. When somebody bids a project, they bid it
so
based off of it.
that's
So
what I'm saying. So you're saying we shouldn't go to the 189, not to exceed the
What they
189.
bid it.
Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying you need to wait till you have a firm recommendation about what is the lowest and or best bid. And they're
Okay.
telling you that they don't
Okay.
have
All right.
an
I'm
answer.
good.
Then this would be struck from,
They totaled it at 176,914.
they did.
If you approve a dollar
If you
amount,
approve it, you're
Then you're
approving the
approving
bill.
the
bid right here.
That was submitted. And what Philip was asking, there's one item on there that like, it says unknown. We don't know
Unknown.
the quantity. So he was asking for
The additional
the
to cover
additional
that.
amount for that. But you would be approving this bid, and if you talk to them tomorrow and they said, oh, no, that calculation's not right, well, too bad, this is the one you accepted. So I think what the hesitancy on your staff side is that Rogers Group, or maybe some of the others, might actually be the lower or best
could
bid
be, you'd have to sit
if
down
they
and look
had,
at it.
because they calculated it different than this one. So do you,
Well, I mean, if that's the case, we don't have no choice then, I guess.
That's what the attorney's telling me, and that's what
right.
I'm going
That's
Well,
what
for.
I'm going on. That's what I'm saying.
you,
We don't have no choice.
Yeah.
But I mean, haven't we done that in the past though? You know, say we're bidding out a job and, you know, if it goes over so much money, you know,
Then it has to come
it
back
has
to
to
y'all.
come back.
Yeah.
yeah, when
I
it's
mean,
an
haven't we done
unknown
that before?
item, that's
Yeah.
not, I'm not saying that you can't do that. What I'm saying is that usually you have a recommendation from your staff that's saying this is the lowest and best bid. And, you know, best can mean different things. You don't always pick the lowest one. Sometimes you pick the best for different reasons. And so when y'all brought out that these calculations might not be right, they're telling you that they're not sure that this is the lowest and best.
I hate to even go down this route. And I'm sure it has happened. Let's just say that the 176 is the low bid and we say, okay, go for it. He comes back to the city and he tells the city, guys, I can't do it for that. I'm gonna have to have 200,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to have $230,000.
The
So
bid
what
is
hap, so
based-
what happens
The
then?
bid documents, I mean, I don't have them in front of me. I didn't read them this time, but like the bid documents say, here's the job. It has all the specs, exactly what they're bidding on. And they bid a firm price. So if their bid is wrong, they eat that.
It's their baby.
You
Well,
know,
that's what, but it's not like that though. You know, on
It
the
is.
base, if they come back and they say, well, right, Philip, we have to add a
because the
little more
base isn't a
base.
firm bid. The
and
base
that-
says this amount. So
I
they
know
have to do
that.
it that amount, but we just don't know how much.
But that's what happened on Gray Lane. Is that not correct?
Yes.
That's the reason why I was trying to keep this moving forward so we get it done and increase the amount to 189 so that Philip has the authority
Yes.
to approve up to his point that a number. If it gets above that, we're gonna have to come back here anyway.
But to be clear, that in that recommendation, you are saying you're accepting this bid and then you're giving Philip the additional authority to do the 100, whatever.
It's $25 per square yard, not to exceed 100 square yards.
Yes.
12,000.
That's the reason I went to the 189.
But I see the point on the other as well. I see and that's why when somebody bids a job, if you say 176, I'm sorry, that's what it is. You know, if you think it's gonna take this much money to do this job, you need to,
Well, with the unknown factor is what came in with Gray Lane. It's what's coming in here. Is there's
Yeah,
something
and
here
that's
that
on
they're
any
going to
job.
find out when they get out there.
that's on any job.
So if we had known exactly how much it would take, we would have put that in the bid request.
One point though, to bring out the shoulder repair from 389 to 393 is $10,000 for a small stretch of road where the shoulder fell off.
And that surprises me, it's not more. I mean, you know, when you go out on some of these, and that used to be a county road, I mean, like Philip's saying, there's the white line, there's the ditch.
The more I think about it, I'm not sure it says 176, 914.60. If he meant each, they should have been totaled and went to that.
That's
So
exactly,
that's
his
what
bid
they-
is 176.
that's what it is. So that's what they supplied, and if they say no, then but that's what's on paper. And
Well, can I make that, and it can pass or not?
Sure.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah, you can make whatever. I was trying to.
I mean, you know, when Philip
How do y'all feel
explains,
about it?
when
You-
Philip explains,
I don't like knowing the unknowns. Y'all know me that
Right,
Well,
so do you wanna
yes.
wait, or do,
The more I sit here and while you talk, they put 176,914.60 on paper
And submitted it.
and submitted it. And it says 14 each, it's $600 is what it's gonna cost. They should have multiplied that on out and then totaled it at the bottom.
And if they didn't, it's not our fault.
So we're gonna bid it at 176.
That's what's on paper.
But then you've got the unknown on the,
So, and that's what I was requesting.
Right.
If you
And that's the
wanted to,
reason
or
why
I
I'm saying
just do the
that.
Yeah.
176.
Don't go over
Yeah,
180.
Bring it back to you
that's
for change order next month.
yeah.
The unknown is in all of them.
That's what I'm
Yes.
saying.
He
It's
was
in
just-
everything.
He was just trying, for this particular project, there's unknown in on all 4 bids.
Well,
He was just trying to,
And
we were trying to make sure all the other numbers, take out the unknown part, but all the other numbers
Are correct.
but these
equal
other companies
the
are gonna be
lowest
the
bid.
same way. They're gonna be the same way, the unknowns.
Well, I guess maybe in their defense, Canaan Road, if you rode down and it hasn't been touched in probably 40-something
Oh,
years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
forever.
I mean,
mean,
there's unknowns there because we
There
haven't
is.
touched it.
I mean, that's a good price. I mean, at 189, it's a good price.
If y'all feel like this is the lowest and best bid, then you should accept it. And if you want to give Philip that additional authority for that line item, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
So
number
great.
5, then you can do that separately.
I'm okay with that.
That's where I
So-
came up with the 189.
So if I can make a motion right now
You can't.
in favor of nickel contracting for 176,914.60.
To award the bid.
Award the
them.
bid, yes, the nickel contract. And it has to come back to Philip to give the okay not to exceed 189.
Sub base,
For
Sub-base.
To include the
Yes.
sub.
Yes,
if needed.
right, if needed. But at the same time, does that give him well, hey, I'd go up to 189?
No, because
No.
what I'm wanting
Okay.
y'all to clarify is that extra amount, the unknown part, is specifically for this number 5.
Right.
If unstable
that's correct.
subgrade is
Okay,
found,
let's go.
base
I'm
binder,
going-
remedial cost.
With
So-
my original,
You can't fluctuate these other
Motion,
numbers, but you
okay.
can
Right.
fluctuate the
Oh.
5th line
That's correct.
I'm-
up to 100,000
100
square
Yards.
yards.
That will still keep them in the same category as we originally started.
Okay.
When we were starting to work with the other numbers, I'm like, okay, hold on, that may make it. But 189 still leaves them as the lowest
Low
bid
bid.
yes,
compared to all the other ones.
Because if you add that
Whichever way
number,
you look at it.
because if you add that number back into the other bids,
If
you're
you
gonna
start-
go up
yeah.
on
If
the,
you start messing with the other numbers,
Yes,
600, then it won't be.
okay.
But
well, that's what I was
leaving-
asking you, so
We
they would
leave the
still be
one,
the
if we
lowest.
leave
Yeah.
the 176 the way it is,
Yeah.
sometimes
So
the
my
176, then they are
my
still the
motion
lowest
is
bid.
on the table.
all
with the
right,
100 yards.
we've got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Got a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Touching those each items was what I was saying. If we start touching every one of those each
Yeah, that's what I was
items,
asking, would they still be the lowest if you know?
all the each items, I don't know. That's what we were saying. We would have to look at it. But if you just touch the unknown item, Philip had already done those numbers before he came in here to ask for that.
My hair just got a little grayer.
I see some laying on the table.
doing math.
I
on the
will
paper.
follow up with Nickel
All
first
right.
thing in the morning to their bill. So I'll let you know.
If they start changing any
Again,
of that.
appreciate
Thank you.
doing that.
All right, approval of CCF Community Center bid.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner.
Another
you.
bid.
So we did receive 4 total bids. We are not going with the lowest, and we do have a letter from an architect. Why? Because it was a compliance issue with how they set it out there. So what we're wanting you to approve is Paul Garney Construction. The base price was $1,559,640. Alternate 1 is replace the middle section of the roof. So in the base, you have the side roof and everything else in between the building. And the alternate, we didn't know if we could get that in there with the money we had. So that's that part, to replace the middle section of the metal, and that is $270,000. Alternate 2 is to paint the vertical metal that goes all the way around the community center. We're wanting to put that in the bid for approval. Not alternate 3 was to actually replace the vertical metal all the way around the building. And that was $164,000, which has put us out of our budget. So the total bid from Paul Varney is $1,887,640. And we still have contingency within that if there's any change orders.
So, so the total that we have in the yellow is off from what you're saying, correct?
Yeah, because there was
Yeah,
alternate
al-
1, 2,
okay.
and 3. 2 and 3 are similar. We didn't know if we could make it. Obviously, we want to place those vertical, but it's too much. So they're actually going to paint vertical to match the new metal in the middle.
Okay, so what's his bid?
So if you, Paul Varney, his base bid is alternate 1 and alternate 2. The total bid will be $1,857,640. $857,640. Sorry, 1,857,640.
There we go.
Okay,
And they were the second and best compliant bid package.
okay.
Okay.
Any questions? Gonna be nice to have this done. By the way, Landmark Tile donated the tile.
That's awesome.
Anything else on it?
Any questions? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
I make a motion that Paul Varney get the bid for the community center.
Got a motion, we have a second.
Can we put that, amount in there?
Yes.
So it's just different from what we
Yeah.
have.
We wrote it, I wrote it down, make sure it gets in the minutes.
Okay.
Alternate number 1, alternate number 2.
Yes, alternate
And then
one
What
and
the-
two.
But his total cost is $1,857,640.
640. Yep.
Okay. I'll second
Got a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
it.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Can't have that back. Approval of ARPA change order request.
Mayor and Commissioners, Dale's here to explain if you need him to. There's 2 line items. We had to do driveway cuts on all the residential. So the change is 4 driveways and they're fog sealing on the back. That is $32,000 total. And the second portion of the change order is the flowable fill to take the asbestos pipe, and they've got to put flowable fill concrete in it. Yeah, he's shaking his head. Yeah. So the total change order is $67,100. That is still a 80-20 ARPA, so 20% of that will be our match. And we do have contingencies left if there's more to come.
They have done that's as clean a job as I've ever seen.
They have done good.
Anything to add?
Clean
Although I
job.
will say that they had one man out there making sure he done his right. I thought that was pretty neat.
Dale, you have anything to add to that?
I believe every word of that. All righty.
I would like to second that this is a very clean job. I think they're going to be done a lot faster than we anticipated. We're pressure testing this week for Magnolia. So once that's done, once it passes all that, that portion will probably be tied in quickly. And then all that is the north end.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
They're moving fast. It's great to see. All right, do we have a motion to approve the change order?
Make a motion, we approve the change order request for ARPA as presented.
Got a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Got a second, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Nobody signed up to speak. Mike, you got anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I guess. Couple of things, I guess. For one thing, I guess last Monday, we had somebody downtown doing some construction work, I guess, on one of their businesses, which that's a good thing. But they was taking their work and just slinging it out there in the street. And, well, not maybe in the street, but in the parking places. So, I made a phone call. Somebody called me, so I made a phone call, and I tell you, we're thankful to have employees like we have.
Oh, yes.
And David Smith said, "Hey, I haven't left town. Hang on a second, I'll swing right by there and see what you're talking about." Dave swings back by and he says, "Man, I see exactly what you're talking about." He said, "Mr. Davis, I'm gonna take care of that myself. I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna take it off the street and put it right in front of the door." And I appreciate that right there, because the next day was a holiday, and then if people was coming through, you know, and seeing all that, you know. And I don't know how they got by, you know, without having a dumpster or a truck there, you know, to put their stuff in, you know. But I can see how things can slip by, but I appreciate David for what he did.
Big Dave.
And another thing, I guess, you know, when we put the date for, I guess, our public meeting, you know, I just like to apologize, you know, to everybody that's, I guess, that might be affected by that, because, you know, it was put back to 7 o'clock, and I hope it doesn't put a burden on anybody. And I don't know how the parking will be, you know, and it may be a little past 7. I don't know. But I just like to apologize, you know, that I didn't realize, you know, when we said the 8th, you know, that was our Christmas parade, because Christmas parade will start at what, 5?
Jack, did y'all change it still 6? 6.
So that means it's gonna be crowded downtown at 7 o'clock. And I just hope it doesn't distract.
Here's what I got
People.
told on it, Mike, is now that the road construction is complete, the route is going to be a lot shorter than it has been being. It's gonna come. Right.
It's still, you know, it's still gonna take people a time to.
Jack's the
disperse.
head of the,
Was.
was.
He was the president of the Rotary. We're reverting. Last year we did circular route, Greenwood, Gray Lane, and First Avenue, Main Street. This year we're going back to the original route. Be coming down Tiger Trail to 3rd, Main Street.
Right.
Once we hit Bond, we're done. Years past, 30 minutes, Chief, usually. Max. We'll start right at it.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't take long. It's a mile and a quarter.
I just don't wanna, I guess, distract people from not coming, you know, to
Absolutely.
the meeting, you know.
We'll absolutely have the
And-
back
and-
parking lot.
But, you know, it'd be a good time for them to mingle downtown, you know, at the same time. But
The back
I
parking
just-
lot will be open. There's some parking available. But you know, right there.
But
about
they usually disperse at the church, right? Somewhere right in
yeah,
there?
some of them go up Bond, and that's where they disperse at. So
Okay.
once we get some of the roads clear, with clearing the intersection, those parts of the road will be free, and that way you can backtrack up Haylong to City Hall.
Okay.
Really?
I don't have anything.
What?
Don't.
Pam?
Well, Brent, who we recognized in the newsletter, I just want to say I had not really met him before, and when we had the dedication for the water, my Bob quit, and I freaked. I didn't know what I was doing, and he hooked me up with somebody that took care of it that day, and it was just really sweet. He made a point of making sure I got the number right away and got everything taken care of, and so just again, just great staff.
Big A is something now, and Big Dave.
Yeah.
And surprise, surprise, they ride in the same truck together a whole lot. All right, nothing else.
Make
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Stand up if you're ready to go.
I'm ready to go.